Next up is an interesting question. It says, I'm planning to compete in a meet on September 24th. Could you please bring my planned peak date forward a few weeks from the current date in October? Also, what will be sacrificed in my programming to bring this peak forward? So normally we don't do videos for every single person that has a change in competition date. It's not necessary, but I thought the question regarding what's sacrificed by bringing your date forward, that's an interesting one. So generally not much. Especially what you're looking at is a change in a couple weeks. So you really won't miss much in terms of training effect or anything like that. You're going to skip a little bit of and some smaller bits of the intensity progression, but that won't hamper you or anything in the long term. What you've got to be mindful of is if, let's say that you did a competition every 2 months. Basically, you go from one peak to the next, to the next, to the next. The way guided programming is set up, we need some longer phases in there somewhere. We need some periods of time where we can do the off-season work, the early season work, and stuff like that. If we're taking a more customized approach to training, then that's usually not a problem. We'll weave that in wherever, in the midst of unimportant comps and stuff like that. But even at that, it's not a problem. If you have 2 or 3 competitions that are, relatively tightly packed together, that's not a big deal. But the thing that you want to avoid is going from one peak to the next and never having a span of, 3-4 months of training without a competition, forever on the horizon. So that's kind of the only time that we hit a limit in terms of guided programming as far as what we need time-wise in order to make the training functional in a long-term sense. But I almost never have that problem in terms of, athletes that are, just happy to compete all the time. Usually people want to get away from competitions after a little while and have longer build-ups. So that usually takes care of the problem.